Welcome everybody to 12 quick random comic book story reviews, where I blindly pick a bunch of comic books off one of my shelves. I'll say a few sentences about them with very little spoilers, and then I'll give them a grade. So let's get started with this episode. Alright, let's kick this off with Avengers Forever. I read Avengers, I am well versed in the lore, I get the references in this book, I understand what's happening here. I still didn't think the story was that cool. The dialogue kills it for me. This book has a lot of time travel, has a ton of recon waving off unpopular storylines, it ties up loose ends, it has all that, but it's uninteresting even with the clever premise of a group of time-dispersed Avengers working together. Old comic fans may get a kick out of this, but it will block out new readers. D-. Alright, next up we have Taskmaster, Rubicon Trigger. I'm a big fan of Taskmaster. I even pre-ordered Sideshow's Taskmaster statue day one. I would love to see more solo stories like this with him. I feel he's misused, he's underused, he's disrespected. I remember this trend started in the 2000s with Civil War and Siege and some Deadpool stuff. Writers have gone in the direction with the goofball Taskmaster, which I'm okay with, just as long as he has his badass moments, which this book has. And this book is enjoyable, it's humorous, it moves along at a great pace and has a lot of good scenes. B. Alright, next we got Ant-Man Season 1. Hank Pym is my favorite Ant-Man. I enjoy Hank with his lack of self-confidence, the burden he carries for creating Ultron, the mental health dilemma. I like all that. I like his Yellow Jacket persona, but this book is a huge letdown. I wish it was better. I know it's a Season 1 book, but come on, just dive deeper. Give us something. Hank suffers trauma early on in this story, but you won't feel it because writer Tom DeFalco fails. It should be more serious, but the art is too cartoonish, it's juvenile, and it's an entire waste. F. Okay, let's go to Wolverine the Brotherhood. It is so refreshing to read a Wolverine comic where Logan is the man, where he is in charge, he's not getting beat up and humiliated. And in this story, the Brotherhood, he's intelligent, he's terrifying, he's introspective, and he kicks ass. Greg Ruckus knows how to write Wolverine. This book dives into the truly evil nature of humans and what vile actions we're capable of. You won't find nothing here you haven't read before, but it's still worth a read. B-. Okay, now let's go to Marvel's Illuminati. You can say Bendis is bad at continuity, you can say his dialogue is lame, you can say he writes characters out of their voices, but he is top tier when it comes to ideas. In the 2000s, he killed it with Daredevil, Powers, The Avengers Disassembled, The House of M, Secret Invasion, Dark Avengers, Siege, New Avengers, and of course, the Illuminati. Find any trade with Bendis' Illuminati and just read it. The dynamic between the group is pure bliss. There's captivating disagreements, there's problem solving, there's secrets revealed, and there's explosive conflicts between the members that is the best. Easy A. Okay, next is Deadshot, Suicide Squad Most Wanted. If you watch my other videos, you are well aware that Deadshot is maybe my favorite Batman rogue. Deadshot, he's smart, he's lethal, his death wish makes him unpredictable, and he has an excellent origin story, and this book dives into all that extremely well. This plot shines because it's both heartfelt, but also really depressing. There are some really tragic scenes in this, but it has a lot going for it, including some badass moments from Deadshot. B+. Alright, up next is Ultimate Galactus Trilogy. So writer Warren Ellis is tasked with recreating the Galactus Trilogy for the Ultimate Universe, and he wants to be fresh, he wants to be daring and clever, and I think he succeeds. He tells this tale over 14 issues, 3 parts. They're titled Nightmares, Secrets, and Extinction. My guess, the first book, Nightmares, will be the most popular. It has horror, it's dark both in tone and color, and it has frightening panels. The last part, Extinction, is the worst, due to not sticking the landing. But there are a lot of creative ideas here. Ellis takes chances, and he introduces ultimate versions of characters like Vision, and it works. Despite some really cringe, unfunny dialogue, C+. Alright, let's go to World's Finest, The Devil Naza. Mark Waid did an outstanding job paying homage to the old Golden Age comics here. He succeeds, it's just not my style. Everything is rainbows, jolly, there's witty comments during battles, there's super silly dialogue. Batman isn't written well. It's just not for me. There are, of course, some awesome things about this book, like the Doom Patrol is great, Supergirl's great. There are villains not seen often, like Felix Faust, and the art by Dan Mora is unbelievable, and that is an understatement. It's truly astounding the work that he does here, as well as the coloring. And lastly, I love how they beat the bad guy at the end, but I found myself wanting to get through this quickly. C. Okay, let's go to Iron Man, The Five Nightmares. Matt Fraction's Invincible Iron Man will always be listed in the top 50 comic book runs of all time. The Five Nightmares, the first arc, this one, is a thrilling modern take on Tony Stark. It feels like the MCU Iron Man. My favorite aspect of this book is the psychological depth, since it explores Tony's biggest fears, which are, number 1, losing control of his inventions, and number 2, being outmatched by a younger, ruthless opponent. Salvador Larroca's art is sleek, it's great storytelling, it's just not my favorite style. But I do love this book. It's compelling, introspective, B+. Alright, let's go to Batman the Imposter. Now, writer Mattson Tomlin, he co-wrote the 2022 Batman movie, and you can see a lot of similarities between the two. It feels like an extension of that. It's very grounded, it's drenched in realism, especially the fight scenes. And speaking of those, the action scenes are laid out amazingly. They're done in a way that feels inventive, and they're captivating. It's the best aspect of this solid book. Like, for example, there's one scene where Batman goes after a police car, and it's riveting. Now, writer Tomlin, he made some differences in this Batman universe, and I thought they were fascinating changes, like what he did to both Gordon and Alfred. Now, halfway through, I thought I figured out the ending, but I was wrong. I wish my prediction came true, because it would have been better, since the ending is a little underwhelming. It would have been an A for this book, but no, B+. Alright, let's head over to Invincible. I will not be talking about the entire 144 issue run here. No. Instead, I'll be reviewing the first 19 issues, which is the first 4 volumes. Now, if you're looking for a relatable book that's charming, funny, it's easy to follow with simple concepts while poking fun at the superhero genre, then Invincible is worth a shot. It's a highly enjoyable story that seems almost juvenile until you realize the plot is sprinkled with a ton of blood, adult jokes, and mature content. The typical neighborhood and high school setting in this book is endearing, and the supporting characters feel familiar and rich. The first 19 issues are a great jumping off point for this character-driven epic, B+, which makes 3 B+ in a row. Alright, finally, let's go to Thanos, Zero Sanctuary. I often think about all those years ago when I read the Magus Saga, followed by The Final Threat, and followed by Thanos Rebirth, Thanos Quest, and then, of course, Infinity Gauntlet. And I think about the elation I felt while reading those. And I know I'll never get that feeling again of reading Thanos, the magic I felt, but I'm always hoping I'll come close. But with Thanos Zero Sanctuary, it couldn't be further from that feeling. Tini Howard failed here. They failed to construct any resemblance of a solid Marvel cosmic story. Howard totally annihilated any engaging quality of not only Thanos, but characters like Ebony Maw and Proxima Midnight in this book. I don't think Howard cared or had any idea of what they were doing. Tini Howard failed badly here, just like they failed Excalibur, X-Corps, Knights of X, Strike Force, Night Terror's Catwoman, The Skeptics, The Forgotten Queen, Punchline, and now Thanos, which they should not have been assigned to in the first place. Tini Howard, this is not your medium. F-. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this episode, but I'll be back real soon with another 12 quick, random comic book story review.